$15K a month. I think either way we cut this, it's a good deal. It works.
Brace yourself, because today I'm about to drop the bomb on the ultimate productivity hack that I shared with private client Sam just a couple of weeks ago. It'll make your head spin. Seriously, within a very short period of time, I was able to purchase enough real estate to where I'd never have to work again. All thanks to this one killer technique that I'm about to unravel for you too right now. You ready? Let's go. Hi, I'm Matt, CEO of Epic Real Estate, and if this is your first time here, really glad you found me. If not, welcome back. And before we jump in, I want you to know where you can get this one-page shortcut sheet. But first, listen to 30 seconds of this coaching session that I had last week with private client Sam.
I think either way we cut this, it's a good deal. It works. But guess what? I wouldn't have called these people if you didn't tell me to call these people.
What made them special?
No, just like we had our conversation and we said, let's go get the points. I don't do this without that conversation we had.
Got it.
So thank you. I mean, just think about it. It was like 7 days into day one for me. Not even business days, right? It's like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because it was Labor Day weekend. Monday, had a deal on Tuesday. It works. I guess that's why you laughed when I was like, yeah, $15K a month. And you're like, yeah, we could do that. And so it works.
It does. That one-page shortcut sheet that Sam used is the first link just below the video in the description. So check it out, and that'll get you to the free download, and you can take a look at your convenience. Let's talk about this. I think we've all seen someone tackle financial freedom and get it, right? Like, whoa, they're driving a Porsche, or damn, they're living in a mansion, or they're taking another vacation, or man, Sam got his first deal in 7 days. Seems like they're slaying these goals left and right without breaking a sweat sometimes, doesn't it? And in many cases, we feel even smarter than them, don't we? I mean, you probably are actually, but what they got that most don't see is a system. I wanna share with you a system that has allowed me to do something very profound, purchase enough real estate with little to no money, and put me in a position to where I never have to work for someone else again. I mean, mission accomplished in under 4 years. That's typically a 40-year plan for the average person. And you can implement this system in as little as 5 minutes, and it's a total life changer. I mean, if you got 5 minutes for something like that, let me know and hit the like button. As remarkable as that is, to create a comfortable retirement in under 4 years for a kid like me that comes from a family of civil servants, I mean, not a single entrepreneur in a lot of them. It's not as remarkable as watching my clients use the same system and put my timeline to shame, like Enrique and Mackenzie and Josh, Tony, Ryan, and many more in less than 2 years. And Parker, 13 months. And Sam, he's well on his way. One thing that makes this so remarkable is that most aspiring real estate investors have such a tough time just getting started, let alone staying focused, creating consistency, making money, and scaling business. One particular student that embraced this system more than any of the others didn't have an issue with any of these challenges. And it all comes down to a very simple performance booster that fits on an 8x11 piece of paper. So let's start with just figuring out what you want from real estate. And let's say you two want the 3 big ones. I mean, the same ones that most people want. Where number 1 is you want to be your own boss. You want to walk away from that day job on your terms. Number 2 is you want financial independence. And let's say you want a minimum of $20,000 per month. And number 3 would be, if you want that $20,000 a month, you want it to be passive. So you can take care of yourself, your family, and live the good life without money worries or having to report for duty somewhere. But before we get into the exercise, you gotta get real with yourself and recognize what's stopped you up to this point. Was it lack of knowledge, procrastination, paralysis by analysis, lack of clarity, shiny objects, inconsistency, lack of time, lack of money, lack of support from your spouse? These are what I see most of the time, and there are more, but it's been a very long while since I was surprised by what people say their obstacles are. I've yet to hear one that this method won't overcome. You see, there's a list of very specific rituals that will blow these obstacles right out of the water and open up a free lane for you to achieve your goals. That one particular student that I mentioned earlier embraced this method from day one and had his first check from real estate in 3 weeks, $5,000. 2 weeks later, he had his second check, $26,000. And let's just say it ramped up from there. I mean, check after check, he'd send me pics to the point where $200,000 months, that was the norm. To work for Brad, you were required to follow this method too, or you were just fired with a quickness. It was his commitment to this method that made him my most successful student ever, until several years later, when I was telling Brad's story to a small group over a 3-day weekend in Manhattan Beach, California. And in the back of the room sat 2 unassuming guys from Fargo, North Dakota. And they were soaking it all in, and they were fired up, and they quit their jobs the day they got home, which I didn't learn until several months later, and I certainly wouldn't have advised that. But they took on this workflow trick as if it were their own, and they started to post their wins in our Facebook group. They posted those wins every Friday. I mean, every Friday. 50 out of 52 weeks, they posted a major win. And it was all because of this method that I'm sharing with you. And it works for every investor that embraces it, because they no longer struggle with getting started now, or staying focused, or creating consistency and producing revenue, and then scaling that revenue. This productivity method, it doesn't care where you're from, what you look like, how much money you got in the bank, why you're investing in real estate, who told you that you couldn't do this. It doesn't discriminate. It's unfairly fair. It's the Daily Deal Navigator, and it works like this. First, you start each day by pulling out a clean sheet. And you start with the activities at the top and you just work your way down. So it's super simple getting started. Second, the only activities that you'll find on the sheet are the money-making activities. So if you want to make money, you should be doing just these. So it's super simple staying focused. And every time you perform an activity, you just check a box. And each activity, it's assigned a point value. The higher the point value, the more important the activity in making money. If the point value for the activity is 2 and you execute that activity 5 times, that's 10 points. Basic math. No algebra required. Third, when you keep it simple by focusing on just the money-making activities, by starting with the clean sheet each day, you'll find distractions, they disappear. The shiny objects aren't so shiny. It becomes super simple, creating consistency. Fourth, performing these activities daily and focusing on just them, the results, they're gonna compound, and you'll find it to be super simple making money. And this is gonna sound kind of corny, but it'll show up almost as if it's magic. I mean, you saw Sam, he was giddy.
It works.
The fifth thing, over a few months, you'll see a direct correlation between the number of points you score and the amount of money you make. And that makes scaling business simple. If you want to do more business, score more points. More points equal more money. I wish it were more complicated than that, because I think more people would tend to believe it and follow it if it were, but it's not. It really is that basic. There's no new technology to learn, no batteries required. Inevitably, where people fail in real estate, and their big goals overall for that matter, is nobody tells them what they should be doing on a daily basis. And this is what I do on a daily basis. It's what my clients do. I mean, the track record, it speaks for itself. In 14 years since I started using the Daily Deal Navigator and sharing it with others, it has never let me down. And this is important for me right now because, I sold a bunch of my portfolio during the pandemic to help make ends meet. And now I'm back in the field buying those houses back. And the Daily Deal Navigator is at the center of the whole thing. I have zero doubts that it'll be restored to brand new in the next 12 to 18 months. It's a 5-minute game changer that'll make you question how you ever worked without it. Oh, in this Daily Deal Navigator worksheet, yeah, it's in the description below waiting for you. Or just go to dailydealnavigator.com. If you'd like to see how I'm getting a bunch of my leads using AI right now, I pulled this video right here out for you to watch next. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Take care.